Our next speaker, Russ, is a service oriented leader and a digital technology advocate. She has a background in sales and marketing, business management, IT consulting, and her career spanning several industries, including banking, information and communications technology, healthcare, and public service. She earned her bachelor's degree in marketing management at the De La Salle University, Philippines, while her master's in business administration degree from the Australian Institute of Business. Ross moved to Australia in 2011 and worked her way up. She is currently the digital health manager of the primary healthcare network in Canberra. She takes pride in her numerous awards in the Philippines and Australia as, as a high achiever and an excellent leader in business. She is passionate about helping businesses and healthcare professionals with digital transformation, reimagining how they conduct their businesses and deliver their services. Here to talk about reaching your career goals abroad, live streaming from Canberra, Australia, ladies and gentlemen, Russelle Sagaran-Trinidad.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for joining me today. This is Russelle Sagaran-Trinidad, Digital Health Manager in Canberra, Australia. But before I start, I'd like to thank the new channel and Miss Apple for inviting me to be a guest speaker in this monumental event that celebrates women all over the world. I am very honored and grateful to be able to share my story and my experience as a migrant in the hopes that you will learn from me and be inspired too. I am also grateful to be the voice of all the migrants out there who have their own success stories to share. In fact, some of them may have experienced more difficult challenges than mine, but I know that a lot of them can relate to what I'll be sharing today. So, my topic for today is reaching your career goals abroad. How did I reach my career goal here in Australia? Every migrant has a dream to be successful in the new country that they live in. Reaching the career goal can be a walk in the park for some, but for most of us, it's a different story. For me, I had to ride several roller coaster rides before I got to where I am now. Some people also have this notion that when you are a migrant, you're instantly up for greener pastures. Well, unfortunately, that's not the case. Remember that before you enjoy those green pastures, you first have to plant seeds and toil. So after 9 long years, I finally reached my career goal, and it felt good to be back in a job that I'm passionate about. So, how did I get to where I am now? Let's go back to more than 10 years ago. Before migrating, I was working in a thrift bank in the Philippines that served small and medium businesses. I started as an admin assistant in 2000 and climbed up the corporate ladder. Prior to migrating to Australia, I was the officer in charge and general manager of the bank's IT subsidiary. I was very passionate in helping small and medium businesses through the use of digital technology and e commerce. It was a job that's very fun and fulfilling, and it's something that I love doing. In those years, I had no plans of migrating to another country. But then, a family friend of ours who lives in Australia for more than 20 years encouraged me and my husband to migrate. She said that we had the skills that will give us better opportunities and better future for our kids. So we filed our application, and in September 2011, we finally migrated to the land down under with our two young boys. For the first year, I didn't work. I was a stay at home mom, and I enjoyed every bit of it with my kids. The first year was like a honeymoon stage for me because I was excited. I enjoyed all the new experiences and meeting new people. Then, in 2012, a Filipino couple who owned a dental center approached me because they learned my background and offered me to become a receptionist. At first, I declined the offer, but eventually I accepted it and joined their company in late 2012. And that's where the struggle began. Maybe you're asking, why, Russ? It was a job that just landed on your lap. Why would you struggle? It's because I had to swallow my pride. And I can tell you that a lot of migrants can relate to this feeling. I have nothing against being a receptionist, but it's more of the internal struggle that you were at the top of your league before, and now you have to go back to scratch all over again. That was really depressing, and it was mentally and emotionally challenging for me. But I persisted, worked hard, and did my best. In those years, I kept on submitting my resume and was desperate to go back to the corporate world. But no one's noticing me because here in Australia, they don't really look at your overseas experience straight away. They want you to study here, have a local experience, or be a citizen before they hire you, especially here in Canberra because most are public service jobs. But I kept on going, and in that span of time, we became Australian citizens, and I immediately enrolled in Master's in Business Administration course. I did this because I'm the type of person who wants to continue learning and I want to reach my career goal. Then, in 2016, a large dental corporation found my profile in a job site and offered me to become a dental practice manager. I took the role while I was studying MBA. I stayed there for 3 years as well, and in fact, those were the highlights of my career, where I received several awards for being a high achiever and a high performer. In 2019, I finished my MBA and moved again and became a practice manager of a medical center this time. And then, December last year, I got the role of being the digital health manager of the primary health network here in Canberra. Aside from reaching this dream career of mine, it's fulfilling to be in this role because I get to support doctors and other healthcare providers use digital technology, who we know are the heroes of this time because of the pandemic. It felt like I had a higher purpose and mission in life. So you might say, Ross, so it was easy. You were able to land those jobs easily. Well, remember, it took me 9 long years to get to where I want to be. A lot of things happened in between those years, and I can say that 2017 to 2019 were the most challenging years in my whole life. Furthermore, even though I was doing very well in those jobs, and even though I enjoyed the new learnings and meeting new people from multicultural backgrounds, I still felt incomplete. I still felt I didn't fit in. There's still that deep longing to be back in the digital world empowering people. That internal chaos was too difficult to bear. So, what challenges did I encounter from 2017 to 2019? You know, when they say when it rains, it pours? I think for me, it stormed complete with thunder and lightning. Everything happened simultaneously. It's like I'm being punched left, right, and center. So I struggled juggling my full time work, being a full time mom, and studying MBA all at the same time. I would work the 9 to 6 job, go home around 7 p.m. I had no time to rest because I had to cook, I had to do the house chores, and take care of the kids. Even if my husband was hands on in everything, I still struggled. Because, you know, we didn't have the luxury of having grandparents or relatives to look after the children. So when the children are in bed, from 9 to 12 p.m., I would study online for my MBA. At the same time, my professional life became very challenging too. When I was a practice manager in the dental center, I was given an additional responsibility to open up a new dental center. So there were construction, operations, pre opening, and teething problems. There were staff problems too, and I had to maintain my professionalism, leadership, and composure and make sure that everything is running smoothly and that the team is still intact, even if there were so many problems around and even if I was breaking inside. Then, my dad got hospitalized and died in 2017. And my mother in law was also diagnosed with cancer and succumbed to it in 2019. On top of that, my youngest son was being bullied at school. Those 3 years felt like eternity. Those years were very difficult because it's so hard to be in another country when you have a loved one who's sick back in the Philippines. You can't be with them all the time because life goes on here in Australia. You can't afford to stop working because you had to contribute to the medical expenses aside from your own financial obligations. Those were the years that I just wanted to give up. It was mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually draining. I felt so depressed that I just wanted to drop everything and run away. But how did I overcome those challenges and get to where I want to be? You know, you are entitled to cry, to shout, to sulk in the corner for a couple of days. But after that, if you have a strong faith and if you never give up, if you keep your eyes focused on that goal of yours, you will rise up again. You'll come out stronger and wiser and feel like you're Wonder Woman. I've also proven that when you feel that you want to give up, God will always hold your hand and lift you up. I am fortunate to be blessed with a very supportive husband, loving sons, parents, siblings, and friends. I've seen miracles work in my life, and it taught me not to worry about tomorrow because I know that someone's got my back, that God will give me all the resources and the people I need to support me in my journey. Before, I would question myself when things were challenging, like, why am I here? Why am I not getting what I want? Now, I realized that in those years, God was preparing me and pruning me for something big. All my work experiences, from working in the IT subsidiary in the Philippines to being a practice manager in the medical center, prepared me for this digital health manager role. Because everything happens for a reason. Before, my dad would always tell me, no pain, no gain, and Rome was not built in a day. When I was younger, I didn't understand this. But when I migrated, I was living those codes. It takes a lot of hard work, sacrifices, and heartaches to get to where you want to be. It takes a lot of dedication, discipline, resilience, patience, and commitment. It's a combination of a lot of blood, sweat, and tears. Success takes time. That's why Rome was not built in a day. You cannot get to what you want in a snap or get it overnight. You have to be tough, be patient, and trust the Lord's timing because He will give you what you want in His right time. You can only move forward if you persevere amidst challenges and if you don't lose sight of your goals. Don't forget the people who helped you. Continue building positive relationships. Be helpful and good to everyone you meet because I believe in karma. I believe that whatever you put out in the world will come back to you. By the way, some people will come and go in your life, but still be grateful because they've shaped you to who you are now. As they say, no man is an island. You need the help of everyone to be successful in life and for you to get to your dream destination. Lastly, you have to have the attitude of gratitude. It's very easy to complain when you're faced with a lot of challenges and when you want to give up. But complaining will only lead to more challenges and angst in the future. When I was on my breaking point, I had to stop. I did some journaling, I meditated, I connected with nature, spent quality time with my family and friends, and really shifted my mind and said to myself, stop complaining, Ross. Be grateful instead. Be grateful for even the smallest blessings that come into your life. It takes time to have that mindset, but that's when more blessings started coming my way. In closing, all I want to say is if you're planning to migrate, my advice is prepare yourself, condition your mind, and set a goal. If you have a husband or partner, have an agreement that you'll stick together and you will face all the storms that will come your way. Muster all the courage and bravery and then dive in. If you are someone who's newly migrated or is in the middle of the journey, all I can say is don't ever give up and don't lose hope. I promise you that there is light after the dark tunnel. Keep your chin up and soldier on because you are being prepared and being pruned for something great that will happen later in your life. And lastly, if you're like me and you reached your career goal abroad, don't stop there. Keep on learning, keep on improving yourself, and don't forget that you now have the duty to fix the crowns of the other queens and help them get to where they want to be. Thanks for watching Global Women Who Rule 2021. I hope that you learned a thing or two, and I hope that I inspired you to pursue and make your dreams come true. Again, this is Russelle Sagaran-Trinidad, Digital Health Manager in Canberra, Australia. See ya.